Outlander fans, we are less than 3 weeks away from the premiere of season 8. Today I'm recapping season 7, episode 4 through 6. I'm going to be recapping the entire season 7 so that we're ready for season 8. If you haven't seen my recap for episode 1 through 3, go and watch that first, and then make sure you follow me so you don't miss anything. Jumping right into episode 4, let's start in the 1980s where Bree and Roger are living in a camper in front of Lollybrock. We've jumped forward a few years now, so Jimmy and Mandy are a few years older. Roger is home writing a literal guide for time travelers, and Bree lands a plant inspector job after shutting down a sexist interviewer in the most Claire-coded way possible. Jim tells his parents that there's a knucklehead living on their property, and he knows this because he met them. Meanwhile, back in 1777, Jamie, Claire, and Ian have to delay their planned trip to Scotland because Jamie gets conscripted and has to go fight at Fort Ticonderoga. Claire is stunned to find that Tom Christie is alive. William saves a woman from getting burned alive, and this earns him recognition from his superiors. He then gets sent on a secret mission, and he nearly dies in the Great Dismal Swamp. But Ian actually ends up finding him, and he helps him out. Ian takes William to the Quaker siblings, Denzel and Rachel Hunter. Now, a little background on the Hunter siblings. Denzel is a physician, and he's also for American independence. He gets kicked out of his local Quaker meeting because of his political views, and he leaves to go help aid in the war. His sister Rachel joins him. Denzel saves William. At this point, it's very clear that William is starting to develop feelings for Rachel. Okay, moving on to episode 5. In the 1980s, Bree gets locked in a tunnel as a prank by her co-worker, Rob Cameron. While she's trying to escape, she comes across a weird patch of the tunnel that makes her head buzz, similar to the traveling stone. Luckily, she gets out unharmed and still in the 1980s, but she's very shaken up from it. Later in the episode, she has a conversation with Rob Cameron, and she ensures that that's not going to happen again. Back at Lollybrock, Mandy actually says that she saw the knucklehead, and it starts to become very clear that someone is watching them on their property. Now we are going back to the past again. William and the Hunters are traveling to Albany when they encounter a man. The man tells them that they are headed in the wrong direction and offers to host them for the night. That night, after everyone goes to bed, that man and his wife try to murder them and steal all their stuff. William ends up killing the man in self-defense and is pretty shaken up about it. He's never killed anyone before. The next morning, William and the Hunters part ways. At Fort Ticonderoga, Jamie warns his superior officers that they could get attacked from high ground, and he is ignored. Ian gets an order to deliver a letter to a Mohawk leader. He knows that when he goes to deliver this letter, he's going to see his former wife, Emily. When he gets there and sees Emily, it is pretty obvious that Emily's son is actually Ian's. He gives him the name Ian James. Back at the fort, the Hunters have arrived. Denzel helps Claire in the surgery, and sparks are flying between Ian and Rachel. And just like Jamie predicted, they see that they're about to get attacked at the fort, so they are forced to evacuate. Before they leave, Claire has an emotional conversation with one of her patients, Walter, who just got his leg amputated and he's not able to evacuate with them. Moving into episode 6. After the evacuation, Jamie and Claire are helping injured civilians escape through the woods. During this time, they can hear redcoats who are pretending to be Native Americans trying to scare them. Jamie and Claire draw those soldiers away, but one of Claire's patients, Mrs. Raven, who's in a really bad mindset, goes missing. Claire finds Mrs. Raven, but before she can stop her, Mrs. Raven takes her own life, and then Claire is captured. As a prisoner of war, Claire finds her former patient, Walter, and has a conversation with him before he ends up dying. William is actually there as well, guarding the camp, and he runs into Claire. He realizes then that Claire is a rebel and that Jamie is fighting for the continental side of the war. He ends up helping Claire out and getting some supplies for the prisoners of war. Ian sneaks in the camp to free Claire. Jamie causes a fiery diversion, and William lets them escape. In the 1980s storyline, Roger goes to Jimmy's school expecting to have a meeting with a teacher, and somehow leaves with a job teaching after-school Gaelic. But on his first day of teaching, Bree accidentally packs his time travel guide in his bag. It ends up in the hands of Rob Cameron, who thinks he's writing a novel. Roger doesn't end up correcting him, and then Rob ends up inviting himself over for dinner. At the end of the episode, things start to get really crazy. Roger spots a man lurking outside of Lollybrock. He grabs the man, and it ends up being William Buck McKenzie, also known as Roger's great-great-great-great-grandpa, also known as the man who tried to hang him previously in season 5. Okay, so that's a recap of episode 4, 5, and 6. Make sure to follow me so you don't miss any future recaps and that you are ready for season 8, coming out on March 6th.